So yeah, today we are gonna fulfill what we promised last week, which was we're gonna watch some trailers. I have to explain to them exactly what concept artists do and how they sort of operate, because 95% of the photos that I use are from like paid photo packs. But the other 5%, like I absolutely go into Google. That's still not ethically right for us to say that, because it's kind of like, well, the only reason why I robbed from that bank was because I was going to get that money eventually. I was just saving time. That's basically what we're saying here. That is a wobbly baby.
That is one wobbly baby. Do they get baby mocap?
Snake!
I am expecting that to happen like any minute.
That's actually really funny.
That was cool, where he's stabbing the thing and he's like going down like a pirate. You know what I mean?
But he gets the hilt as well, like he gets the blue hilt.
Sure.
I just have a problem with that.
It's not canon, you know. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Polygon Forest. I am Ubisoft concept artist Vin Hill, and I am joined as ever by the indie developer Christopher Jarvis.
Hello.
So yeah, today we are gonna fulfill what we promised last week, which was we're gonna watch some trailers, and just talk through that, because it's actually been quite weak for the video games industry from what I can gather. There wasn't really too much big news that we really were desperate to bite at the bit. I think I saw one headline of, The Last of Us Part 3 might be getting worked on. Are you shocked?
Yeah, and
Chris?
then it was just the AI. No. And then the AI conversations come back around again, which means it's old news, which means there's no new news. And everyone was dunking on or praising High on Life, the Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty co-creator.
Yeah.
First-person shooter comedy game.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this in the pre-show, but the AI art thing it's fine. It's just if you're not an illustrator, then you really don't have much of a leg to stand on for that sort of stuff.
Or matte painter.
Yeah, I mean matte painters even, because matte painters these days mostly use photo techniques. But the argument which I had, and I put a thread about this on Twitter, if you are interested, go check it out at Hillfort Games. And I went on a bit of a rant because I was kind of annoyed by a bunch of seeing my fellow concept artists complaining about AI art generation when they've been photo bashing for years and stealing people's photography and putting it into their own work without any credit or even mentions, and then they have the gall to turn around and say AI art is not fair. It's that's, to me, it's just the biggest form of hypocrisy that I've seen in a very long time in our industry. So I know for illustrators that are making this stuff from scratch, I'm all on board for helping those guys out and raising my voice for them, because their original work, which they're putting love, sweat, and tears into, is actually getting lifted by these things. But for people that are using photos in their concepts, just shut up. Seriously, you've got no moral legs to stand on. I don't really understand how people can have the balls to do that, but.
Yeah, if you've ever used an image created by someone else and it's aided you either in your portfolio, getting a job, or in the actual day-to-day job,
exactly,
then you are profiting off of the back of other people. But the games industry is a very sharing community. We like to do that. Very rarely do people putting claims for this is our mechanic, you can't use this, copyright claims for mechanics and bits of.
And that's why it seems a bit out of the ordinary that all the concept artists are coming out and boycotting Artstation and deleting their Artstation Pro accounts and removing stuff from their portfolios and saying, say no to AI art because it steals other people's work. That is just rich, honestly. It's really. It kind of makes me angry that they even think they're on that high horse. People will notice I've not really said anything about the ethics of theft when it comes to AI stuff. Automation and taking jobs. We can actually absolutely have that conversation. But in terms of the ethics behind it. It's just like we really don't have any moral high ground on this whatsoever. It's hard to justify like how we can say, oh yeah, it's bad for AI to steal our artwork, but it's okay for us to steal photography from other folks. And if you have a conversation with people that make these photography pieces, like these wonderful works of art that we take, for the most part, they don't know this is even happening, that concept artists are doing this. And when you tell them, they're kind of uncomfortable about it. They don't really like it. Like the amount of conversation, like I've contacted people before that have had good photography, like packs on their websites or whatever, and asked them like, hey, do you supply like a photo pack? And 9 times out of 10, whenever I've done that, they've always replied and been like, what's a photo pack? What do you use it for? And I have to explain to them exactly what concept artists do and how they sort of operate, because 95% of the photos that I use are from like paid photo packs. So they're aware of that. But the other 5%, like I absolutely go into Google and just like live this shit. Like everyone does, because it's what we do.
Everyone, yeah.
And we need to be honest about that. That's the thing. We can't like pretend that we're on this like different level plane from AI when we're doing the exact same thing. Like it just crawls me. So yeah, I don't know. It's a funny old business. So who knows? Yep.
Let's open that up to the comments if you have a alternative view to Vin's.
Yeah.
Like quite a lot of people have seen on Twitter, then yeah, let's what are we missing? Where's the what's not?
Yeah, I just don't think people are being honest about it. That's the part that annoys me about it. Like I've seen some concept artists which I follow and whom I really, really respect, and I've had a lot of respect for, like the concept artists that worked at Sucker Punch on Ghost of Tsushima, people that worked at Naughty Dog, like these absolute beasts of concept artists that have been like that I've looked up to for a long time in terms of their artwork and their skill, and they come out with this opinion like that AI is ethically bad because it steals other people's work. Is just like, you guys are just hypocrites. And it's really opened my eyes over the past couple of weeks, like seeing all that sort of stuff, because there's now generated this movement out of it, and they think that they've got this moral high ground. It's tough. It's really tough. Like it's really hard to sort of explain it to people that aren't in our industry, that aren't being very honest about it. So yeah. It's tough.
And for me, it comes down to one thing. It's like those people that are using those kits to bash images, you could get there eventually. It's just a time-saving tool, right?
Yeah and no. That's the thing. Like that's where the honesty comes in, because there's a lot of people that say, and I've said it myself as well, and it is mostly true, to say like, okay, yeah, we use photos to save time, which we do. But then there's also those occasions where, yeah, there are certain textures and stuff that we just wouldn't be able to do without these photos, sort of thing. So while we can say like, yeah, it's just a time-saving tool, like it's still not ethically, even if that was completely true, even if it was like 100% of the time a time-saving tool, which might be true for some concept artists, but absolutely not for others. Like there are terrible artists out there that are really good concept artists because they use photos and they know how to manipulate them properly. But then there's other people.
I would say that. I'd say I could work my way around Photoshop pretty well to come up with some textures and stuff for my video game. But like if I sat there with just color pad and some round brushes, I'd be lost.
Yeah, and there's plenty of people like that. I mean, there's older guys like myself that were sort of brought up in that time where we were painting everything, and we were getting used to that process of just constantly painting absolutely everything. And then we slowly morphed into Photoshop and became more about like the photo edits and stuff like that. But for the most part, it wasn't really like that. Once about 5 years ago, it's just like when you were learning concept art, you will learn how to photo manipulate instantly. So there's a lot of folks that are coming into the industry that have never painted anything in their life really from scratch. Like they've always just been used to using photos. So it's like, while that is true for some people, it's not true for everyone. And people aren't really being honest about that. But even if that was true, even if it was true, like 100% of the people in the industry are painting that. If 100% of the people in the industry are able to paint everything and they're only using it as a time-saving tool, that's still not ethically right for us to say that, because it's kind of like, well, the only reason why I robbed from that bank was because I was going to get that money eventually. I was just saving time. That's basically what we're saying here. It's like, yeah, that's true, but like you still robbed a bank. You know what I mean?
You still took something that wasn't yours and not passed it off as your own, because you're always being honest about where your sources come from. But
some people aren't. That's the point.
You still benefited from the work of others. And I guess we do that anyway, don't we? By looking at other people's work, we automatically take inspiration. And that's, I guess it's not taking, it's like, we should probably just see it more like cooperating and more like teamwork.
Yeah.
That's probably how you should see it. And inspiration and bouncing ideas off each other. That's probably the best way to square it in that hole, I think. For me, it's more like it's cooperation with the industry. And, you know, there can be artists and they don't have to put things on the internet and it doesn't get taken by the AI robot, and they can just live in their lives and they can look at all the images they want. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. The thing is, though, I think it's because people are upset because it's a shame. So shame that there's a change of people's way of life, and that's always scary.
Sure. And it's coming fast.
There's money,
I think that's
money coming away from people. Yeah, and whenever money comes away from people doing something artistic, and it goes to a robot doing something not as artistic, I guess.
I mean, the output is like people keep saying that, but like you hit that button and a piece of art comes out, if you like it or not. Like it's sort of like, yeah. It is creativity in a sense. It's just how we sort of define it as creativity, because it's like a collage of everyone's creativity. So I don't know if I completely agree with like the whole AI art isn't real art. It's like it kind of is. It's just not like truly original.
Yeah, it's just not truly original. But then, again, what is truly original, right?
Exactly, so, especially when you're using photos, right? Because like then that technically isn't yours. It's bizarre. Like the whole conversation is really bizarre, because everything that a concept artist does is exactly the same as what an AI bot does. Exactly the same, down to a T. Yeah.
Let's not get into the weeds of like, are the only real artists, which some people believe this, some people believe that only real artists are artists that spearhead a movement. As an opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I
in terms of original art, I guess you could just, original artists spearhead movements.
Sure, and like I said, the original artists, like the illustrators, who that's the people that I'm looking at defending, is the people that are
just plucking something out of the head and drawing it
right from scratch and rendering the stuff out. Like they're the people that I'm looking at and being like, man, that sucks. Like it's brutal.
Because your brain is just being scraped a bit and put into a machine. Yeah, that's totally true.
And that's harsh. But just specifically like in the sphere of like seeing concept artists come out over the past few weeks, it's just like, you guys need to sit down, because like this is going to backfire big time, because someone's going to speak up eventually and just be like, yeah, you guys are kind of been doing this the whole time, so I don't really get it. But who knows? Like the thing is, like when it comes to automation always wins. That's the problem.
I think it'll fizzle out. I think the backlash will fizzle out.
It has to,
because I just hope we don't. I just hope it's just through natural wastage and not like, hey, there's huge massive layoffs because we didn't hit our arbitrary figures, and we can get rid of all the concept artists and we'll just employ 2 people that are really good at Google to come up with our concept art images. I just hope it's not done in that way, because that's in bad taste, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, because the way that the industry usually works, and what we've been doing for years, but there's never been any backlash against it, which is ironic again, is that over the years, the West in particular, so like North America and the UK and Europe and stuff, we've been slowly unionizing and giving people 5-day work weeks and like paying them overtime and like set amount of hours and all this sort of stuff. And we've been making all these laws and rules over years and years and years, so we can get to this point where everyone's treated fairly. That's all great. The problem is like a good third of the industry is outsourced to countries that don't have those things, so we can get cheaper labor, so we can get these things done faster. So what's going to happen is, like, while the entire West right now is rebelling against AI art, it's like no to artwork, no to AI art and all that sort of stuff, canceling my Artstation account. It's like, all right, sweet guys, like we won't use AI art in the West. Awesome, that's great. All the companies are sat there going, that's fine. No worries.
We'll save even more money.
We'll save even more money, because what's going to happen now is like, okay, we just won't hire concept artists, nor will we use AI, but we'll just outsource companies in other countries that don't have these sorts of ethics in place. And we're hiring the studio for them to make the prompts, to make them go through the AI artwork. So instead of hiring a concept art team internally, we'll just hire the prompter studio from X country. That's
still be cheaper and quicker.
So either way, what's going to happen is that concept artists and illustrators are going to lose their jobs to someone or something. Either way, they're losing their job, right? So like all you're doing really right now is just protesting who you lose your job to. That's it. That's all that's happening. So it's tough. Like it's
still sad.
It's very sad and it sucks. It's a sea change. And after this, it's very much going to be the 3D artists that are next for photoreal 3D artwork sort of stuff. But, it keeps us on our toes. It keeps competition high. It's just, it's definitely an interesting conversation, that's for sure. And it's definitely one that's going to come up again. It
might actually be, it could be, the positive spin on this could be that I don't say truly original and truly different. That's not really what I'm trying to say. There could be value in games that appear more visually unusual to competitors.
Yeah.
Because that might just be what humans get drawn to, because we're always drawn to novelty, right? And if you suddenly get a lot of cheap, popular FPSs that all look the same, the new one that looks different because it's had unique artists working, with AI, but to create visually interesting, different things, that could be where the money is. Like in original concepting, like an actual style, like stylized, there could be more value in that, because the cheap stuff could, come thick and fast, and so you have to wade through the visually boring stuff or samey stuff. To get the nuggets. That could be what happens. That's like the best case scenario, I suppose.
Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard people say this before, like internally at studio as well, and just the way that the assumption was that what we're going to end up doing is, because of all these AI bots are sort of learning off of photos, like we're going to get a lot of photorealistic stuff. So that therefore, like all the concept art that's going to be pumped out and all of the projects is all going to be photorealistic. Right, so like it leaves this vacuum for stylized things to come through to be a little bit more unique. So at first we're going to saturate the market of all of this AI-based concept art, like photorealistic stuff, and that just completely saturates all the projects that we do, and they're all photorealistic, and that's going to get boring after a while. So then that'll sort of bring in this new era of stylized stuff, which is a valid point. I just don't know if, because I've played around with AI art, like I've tried Midjourney, so have you. Like we did it on the podcast one episode.
We did an episode.
Yeah, we played around with it. You can absolutely do stylized stuff as well in these bots as well. That's the only problem. So it's only a matter of time, like, because we're looking at everything as it is right now. We're not looking at what it's going to be in 5 years' time. And 5 years is going to come really quick. And in terms of a concept artist that's currently now just entering uni this year, and they're due to sort of come out the other end of that in 4 years' time to be a concept artist. By that point, their job could be gone. And so that's how fast this stuff is moving. And that includes stylized stuff. So there's a really good chance that we'll probably get over that hump as well. So even if we do figure out, even if we do just realize that we're only making 3D photorealistic stuff, then eventually we are going to get to the point where we're doing stylized stuff as well through AI art as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's a fascinating subject. I just hope that people are a little bit more honest, like while they're talking about this sort of stuff, especially concept artists, because it was really disappointing to see this week just how like blindsidedly hypocritical everyone was being. It was actually kind of shocking to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a shame. We'll see what happens. We'll check in 5 years' time and we'll see. I'll see what the situation.
We'll probably still be here. Yeah, like, do you remember when we said that 5 years ago and it just didn't happen? Yeah, that was true.
And we're in person, but we're in the metaverse.
Right, exactly.
We're talking like
this.
Yeah,
exactly. We've got like,
how stupid were we sitting at home in our with our desks?
Yeah.
And like the script will be AI, and we'll just have our brain scans do the podcast for us.
I mean, they're doing that now. Like I saw a Marquez Brownlee video not too long ago. What's his name? I know his real name, but I never know his YouTube handle. He's the tech guy. His name's Marquez Brownlee anyway. I don't know. He was MK something. I can never remember his name. But he was doing a video about like how AI art is never. Can AI like replace a content creator? And he went on this diatribe like the first 5 minutes of the video. It was like, well, it's not going to happen because of X, Y, and Z. And these are the reasons why we're always going to have like physical content creators, because AI just can't do these things. Like, for instance, they can't like come up with the content of the video. And then at that point he stops and he's like, well, actually it can, because everything I've just said, it was generated by an AI. I asked it a prompt and this is what it spat out. And that's what I've just been saying for the last 5 minutes. And you would not have known. Like, it was one-to-one. He was like, this is terrifying. I was like, Jesus, like, that's wild. So
right.
It's coming. Like, it's coming after writers. It's coming after concept artists. It's 3D artists are next. Like, AI is already being heavily used in the coding industry. Like, something called Copilot. People should look that up. It's terrifying, like the whole thing. So
I guess what we'll just be is everyone's just going to be editors, right?
Yep.
Everyone's just going to be an editor.
Yeah, everyone's going to be sketch artists. Like, you draw
yeah.
a sketch and you throw it into an AI and then it renders it for you, which is great for people that aren't into rendering stuff. Like, it can be relaxing, but it can also be really boring to some people. So you become like a composition artist. You'll become an outline artist or like an outline writer. You know, stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's good.
Or everyone should be an editor. Yeah.
But it's good for like people that are solo developers or smaller teams, because they'll be able to wear a lot more hats and be able to make some really cool stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to the sort of textures and stuff I can come up with, instead of manipulating things I find on the internet that are free for commercial use, or manipulating things beyond all conceivable. You know, I've worked so much on it. I've spent half hour on it. It's a totally different image than what I started with. I think that's fine to use it in that case, because no one pixel is anywhere near the same as the original image of a pixel. Yeah. I like using Midjourney to come up with some cool high definition funky textures.
And you are. This is the thing. Like, you are the good use case for AI, and that's why I'm not like wholeheartedly against AI. For one, like, it's kind of a bad position to be in, because for one, it's gonna win.
It's on the wrong side of history.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna win. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can sit there and protest the printing press. Like, we are all just like reading stuff off our iPads now or our phones. Like, you can protest these things, but you will lose. So, but you are like the outcome, which I'm constantly looking at, which is this person that is you're pretty good and creative at a lot of things, but you're not an expert at anything, which is a good spot to be in for this technology, in my opinion. Like, you're actually going to be on the right side of this, because you've tried so many different things. You'll be able to sort of create whole products rather than being sort of stuck in one lane. So that's...
Or have a say and be able to comment on everything, at least. Like, oh, I've done this, and when so I'm coming from a place of experience for a little bit of everything, and that's quite a useful place to be in for like a game studio.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not wholeheartedly against AI for that reason. It's because, like, I see both sides of the fence. It's for folks like you, and it's also like my job is going to become a Photoshop filter one day, and that's fine. Like, this is what happens. Like, unfortunately. Like, the people that used to cut film, literally like cut the film as it used to come out when they used to edit and like tape it back together and then put it back on the reel. Then people don't have jobs anymore. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's like in the 90s when stop motion animators had to suddenly switch to using computers. It's the same thing. Like, we've got to. Yeah. It's just the way of the world, and it's automation at it's the age old story of automation. So.
Yeah, we dealt with 16-bit and 32-bit and 64-bit, and we were like pushing pixels around all those stages
Pixel
of the way.
artists were pushed out of the way. It's
pixel
it's the same thing.
Job dies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny old world. Anyway, we should watch some trailers, I think.
Let's watch some trailers. That's enough of that. We'll post that up as a separate clip, probably.
Yeah, why not?
And let's watch some clips. We'll watch the whole thing. So we'll do some commentary in between it, but it's just going to be blah, 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 blah. Trailer. We're going to watch the Best Game Awards 2020 trailers from GameSpot. Cool. So we'll click in unison.
Yes.
So Vin, if you do the countdown, because that's how we're used to it, and then I'll click when you say go.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go.
I clicked it.
So did I.
Death Stranding 2. Is this what you're seeing? Death Stranding 2?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm already scared. This is scary.
It's not scary. It's just weird. It's very much.
I've not actually seen this all the way through. Also, just check your audio that you're not recording the audio.
No, I'm not. I'm
the
watching it on
trailer.
my iPad, so it's all good.
Ah, perfect.
That is a wobbly baby.
That is one wobbly baby. Do they get baby mocap?
I don't think they do. They'll probably keyframe that sort of stuff.
It was like coral in the baby thing.
I was
Usually
really not
anything-
expecting them to do a sequel to this because it kind of ended well. So I'm curious to see
Okay.
what he does with it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the first one. I tried it for a few hours.
I really
Didn't see
enjoyed
Troy
it.
Baker, and I was like, meh.
Well, he's in the second
just-
one as well.
It was just got too weird. Honestly, it was too weird, and I was like, I don't understand it, and I just was in a place where I didn't have the RAM to have it exist in my head.
Yeah.
I could have gone down a deep dark hole and it could have consumed me, and I think that's probably what people really liked about it. Oh dear, that baby's in a precarious position.
Aren't they always?
Uh-oh. Oh. With caterpillars. Don't understand it. Don't understand.
I
What?
don't think you meant to. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's classic Kojima, right? Like he always just does really weird trailers like this. And there's a lot of secrets, and you'll find a lot of cool stuff, you know. But yeah, it's tough.
Oh, he's got grey hair.
He does. I like it how they just gave him grey hair. Like they didn't age him at all. It was it's just
Got grey now.
right. He just stopped dyeing his hair. That was it.
Just run out. Humanity has run out of just for men. It's getting me Metal Gear Solid 2 vibes.
I should do. Same dude.
I know.
Snake!
I am expecting that to happen like any minute.
It wasn't the UCA that made the final decision.
It's weird to see Troy Baker's name right at the bottom of those
Yeah.
listers.
Corporation.
This is the... Is this Troy Baker's character?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just freaky. This is freaking me out. I can see his like internal organs and stuff. Baby octopus.
Oh, you got to put it somewhere.
It's just so bizarre.
It's very strange.
Armored Core 6? Armored Core 6?
Yeah. This one came out of nowhere because it was it's being made by From Software, I believe. So the people that make Elden Rings
Ah,
are making
yes.
a Armored Core game again.
Yes. So it kind of came out of left field, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if it will be like a Souls-like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you
Armored
imagine
Core,
that?
like mech
Make
game.
Souls-like.
Souls-like. That could be cool.
It could be.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if it's going to be that though, but I also don't know if From Software know how to make any other type of game anymore. Because it's been a
That's
while.
true. I know it's about there's this resource, like, and everyone's trying to find this resource, and then you work with factions, and it's like everyone's trying to get this material, and that's like the idea of it. I mean, that's a pretty nice looking image with the clouds and
Yeah.
bridges and stuff.
Yeah, I like all like the things coming in from the right hand side. Like it's a trick that we use in concept art a lot, where we point at stuff using shapes to sort of
this.
guide the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's tropey as hell, but it absolutely works.
Might as well be little fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all obviously CGI stuff. This isn't
Sure.
in the game, but you know,
I think the only thing
I
that
like
you really
the
needed.
aesthetic.
Yeah, the only thing that you really needed was like the From Software logo. That was it, and everyone would have been like, "Yeah, I'm sold." That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're on. Yeah, and quite rightly so. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
they win Game of the
making
Year almost
good
every
games.
game they put out.
Yeah. And it's been ages since Titanfall 2, isn't it? So I think we're due.
A good Mac game.
Yeah. Or see what can happen with that genre or style of game. And there's some 3D artists that are out now going, man, I'm so glad I can put this on my portfolio now. Because they would have been sat on that for ages. So that's good to see.
Yeah.
And that's next year. Okay, so that's just come out of the blue for next year.
Nice.
Rubicon. Isn't that a tropical fruit drink?
Fires of Rubicon. And it's just like squeezed fresh every morning.
That's what they drink in their mech suits. Hades 2, yeah, this got a lot of praise, didn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
still need
this,
to play
but-
one.
Yeah,
I
I
still
mean,
need
one
to play
game
the
of the year,
first
so.
Yeah.
But I'm just not into roguelikes. That's the problem.
If it was free, I would totally. I guess I probably can't find it, but it's one of those things where I'd do a couple of playthroughs, but I just can't sink all the hours in. It's just.
It's just starting again from the beginning every time. Like I tried to play what's that bullet hell game that came out for PlayStation 5. Similar thing. Returnal, yeah, that was the one. Tried to play that, I just could not get into it whatsoever. Just every time you start again, it's like
It just felt like starting again.
Why am I
felt like
starting again?
Yeah.
Like, not after like hardcore checkpoints or anything, but just something to keep me going here. I just don't want to do this over and over again, starting from scratch. Like it's not enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Now go. Death to Kronos.
Great animation in
doesn't-
this though.
Oh god, yeah, looks amazing. Roguelikes, yeah, they don't follow the rules of game. Like they don't follow the rules. Like people aren't supposed to enjoy redoing stuff unless they're adding something like creativity, difficulty, or like more content.
Yeah.
But people love the grind. I don't get it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind roguelites. You know, the
Yeah.
ones where you you keep something. Like if you gain any XP on a run, then you keep that on the next run. So you're still making progress in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But roguelikes though, I just don't start from scratch every single time. It's just not enjoyable to me.
Cannot be stopped.
Wait for me, Father. I'll be this.
It'd be interesting if they can still get the same magic in the second one that people really liked in the first one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. That's actually quite inflammatory to have as in a title.
They just sort of give it
Just
away.
thinking of a legal point of view. Having the word kill a certain group of people in a title of a video game.
Well, at least they're not real people, so it's all good.
That's true. That's true.
Somebody find the back entrance.
Best dirty movie I ever saw. Oh, crap!
I love the cardboard cutout.
Door will not
That's
move.
good.
We must barricade it.
You stay here, pal.
And that's one of the famous illustrations, isn't it? From forget his name.
From the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
See this? I spent a lot of time dreaming up how I was gonna kill you with it. You're mine now, and you're in for a world of...
What did he cut off?
Oh. A little flash finger. That's actually really funny.
Oh, hey guys! Oh, we were just having a little... You hear that?
That's actually really funny. Accidentally cut off the Flash's finger. Uh-oh.
Hey, Bruce!
Oh, someone's there.
Still using
They know he's
guns
Bruce.
to scare the crap out of us criminals, huh? Don't sweat it. Batman doesn't kill people.
Oh,
Oh, it does now.
looks like it does.
Are you okay?
Oh dear.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Guess it was his last project before he passed away.
Ah,
That sucks.
yeah. Especially if the game sucks. That would suck.
Oh, here
Tekken
comes
8.
the Japanese cheese. Orewa.
Remember Tekken 2 back in the day was just like pinnacle video game. Like, that was probably the best video game of all time at that time, you know?
Yeah, people are still playing this thing, man, aren't they? I mean, there must be like a huge sort
It's
of
got
fan base
legs.
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember it being the pinnacle of CGI as well. Like, it was the cutting edge of CGI cutscenes. So, there was lots to enjoy.
Yeah, it was one of like the PlayStation 1 sort of showcase IPs because it looked so good at the time. Yeah, it's undeniable how good it looks though. Like in terms of
Yeah.
art, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, if you asked me like yesterday, like how many Tekkens are there, I would have been like, I don't know, 5. Like, I would
Yeah, I
have
didn't
known
know.
they
It
were
was
on
like,
8.
no idea. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. You
Yeah.
can hear the whoops from the crowd.
Yep. Rightfully so.
Now, the only one thing I'm going to say about this is like, yeah, I'm really psyched that there's going to be another one. Watching the trailer, so isn't the first time I've seen it. Although, I don't remember this bit.
Oh, this is from
It's,
the stage. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just what they do with the lightsabers is like, it's almost a bit like, it's like the all-time favorite, whichever combination of lightsaber you enjoyed
All in one.
from all the past,
Yeah.
all in one video game.
Yeah, it's
He
like the
just
best
does
of
all
lightsabers,
them.
right?
It's like the best of lightsabers, and I'm like, I'd have preferred just one new thing. Like, just do one new thing.
Yeah.
Don't just go, hey, it's all stars, Star Wars lightsabers. He learns all of them. This one guy who's off on his own, doesn't have the resources of the Jedi Masters. He just learns all of them. He just does all.
I'm really looking forward to this, though. I mean,
It's gonna be great because it's gonna be polished more.
yeah, Star Wars Metroidvania is just like I wasn't
Ah.
the first one had no right to be as good as it was. Like, it had no
No,
business
no.
being as good as it was.
No, and the story as well.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
It was my game of the year that year.
yeah, that was definitely a contender for me for sure. The writing, everyone brought their A game, and everyone did a good job.
But I don't.
And then you can't say that for Star Wars games. You cannot.
It's just so many.
Rare
of them. Most
breed.
of them are like par. You know, like, they're
Mediocre at
okay.
best.
This was like the first sort of like 10 out of 10 Star Wars game that I played.
Yeah, same. Well, 9 out of 10, because 10 out of 10 doesn't exist.
That's fair.
Looks like you got like the double team thing.
Yeah.
Double team finishers. Which, this is the bit where it goes, oh, I'm going to do a double lightsaber, and I'm going to do all the different lightsaber stuff.
Yeah, like the
Gonna
double
have the
spinning
double-handed,
as he was running. Yeah.
the dual spinning.
That was cool where he's stabbing the thing and he's like going down like a pirate. You know what I mean?
But he gets the hilt as well, like he gets the blue hilt.
Sure.
I just have a problem with that.
It's not canon, you know. But it is
it's
now.
not so much it's canon. It's not that it's canon. It's just that it's not original. It's nothing new. It's like you've just gone, hey, what can we, like in the writers' room, they've gone, what can we take from Star Wars and put it in this game? Yeah. They've not gone, how can we add to the character? That's the only problem I have.
Yeah, Lucas is like the whole IP of Star Wars
Disney
is
now.
really,
Yeah.
they're really strict about everything that goes into games. So, Creative Business Unit 3, Square Enix Division 3.
Revenge is a weapon.
I just hope this one's better than Final Fantasy 15 because I really did not enjoy 15 at all. I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan, by the way, like for anyone that's listening.
Yeah. Where should I jump on? Where should I start my journey?
This one, I would. Like, there's no point in starting at the back, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
most people would say, "Oh, I played Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9."
No, the remastered 7.
7, yeah, the remake of 7's okay. It's just, if you're going to start anywhere, I would just start with the newest one, right? Which would be this.
Yeah.
So I'd wait
Yeah.
until next year when it comes out, give it a try. You might really enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to probably sound like sacrilege, but it's given me kind of like Dragon Age vibes, and I love Dragon Age.
Yeah, it's kind of going for that. It's cool that they're leaning more towards like European style fantasy on this one.
Being Europeans.
Yeah, I just think it fits the fantasy setting in terms of like the medieval style fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
The best for Final Fantasy, if you're going to call it Final Fantasy. If it was called Final Sci-Fi, then yeah, that's different.
And go Japanese, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got like dungeon crawler-esque stuff. You've got the classic clothes. You've got swords. You've got spiders. You've got magic. You've got beasts. It's like old school, dungeon crawler vibes, aesthetically, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks great.
Fantasy
60. Oh, yeah.
16.
Chris, this is the reoccurring segment. Chris tries to read Roman numerals.
I never actually put that into the. No, I did put it in the intro of the.
No, we need to wait until the end of the year. And
Video.
we've got all these different moments.
Is dying. And my only
Big shoes
way
to
out
fill. Bioshock people.
is with one of them.
Oh yeah, all the games media quite liked the look of this.
Yeah, I'm nervous about this.
I am. I will reserve judgment, I think.
Looks great. I'm a huge fan of Bioshock,
Love
but
Bioshock.
it's been a while. I don't know if this is going to be like, if this is going to feel like a 10-year-old game when it comes out. Do you know what I mean?
Because yeah, the last Bioshock, it was kind of on a, I don't want to say a downward trajectory, but
It was at the
at
end of its
least
run.
in terms of my enjoyment of it was spent by the end of the last Bioshock.
Yeah.
People say half is coming. And you know what?
I hope it's great.
Nothing's gripped me with the trailer, but
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Atomic Atom or whatever it was. Like that game looks absolutely wacky as hell, but whenever you watch a trailer, it's like, it looks great. I have no idea what's happening.
yeah, that's good with this one. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you've watched the trailer, but like, have no idea what's happening. It's going in cold. Diablo 4.
No.
4?
4.
I'm getting it.
Getting there. Slowly but surely. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a great segment when we edit it one day. 4? 5? Is that 5? Is that 4?
All of my uncertainty.
God, I'm really excited for this game.
What is it?
It's Diablo 4.
Oh, it is Diablo 4. I thought it was a different game.
No, it was just one of those like weird intro ones that they did.
Just does a black screen for 2 minutes for no reason.
Diablos are just great. Like, they're just great games. They don't come around often, but when they do, it's an event.
Yeah.
And people play them for a decade, and then they start working on the next one. So, lots of soldiers.
Yep.
Stuff to
Copy
kill.
and paste.
Yeah. It's the way to go, man.
They look the same. He doesn't look happy, or he looks very happy. I just can't tell. could be beaming under there. Happy
Beaming.
Larry.
I see what you did there. He's radiating with joy.
Today we fight true in his holy name.
Oh, they just blocked her out. They don't like her.
It's like, yeah, ignore that one.
Blessed be the light.
Yeah, I don't think they're showing any gameplay in this one.
No.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of gameplay for this game already, so...
Oh, that's pretty cool though. It's a good bit of CG we got going on there. Colour me intrigued.
Returned to hell.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a love story.
I've returned to hell for you.
Earthblade. Don't remember this one. Celeste.
Yeah. It's a pixel art, sort of Metroidvania. I never played Celeste, and like people...
Oh, hey.
A lot of people tell me good things about it. I know it won. I think it won like a good amount of awards as well.
It's giving me like Silk Song kind of vibes as well, but just a bit more pixely,
Yeah.
which is good. Not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, I really want to make like a pixel art Metroidvania one day. Like it's...
I would love to.
Yeah, it's on my
definitely
list.
on my
I'm
list.
pretty sure it's like I'm gonna make one after Long Gone, I think.
Yeah. I would love to. I want to write one. Like I want to write the lore and the characters, and because that's the one thing where I think I could have I've got something to say. Like with the yeah.
It's just something so pure about good Metroidvania. I can't put my finger on it, like exactly why they're so fun.
Yeah, like they just feel satisfying.
I think it's just the ultimate form of like exploration more than anything.
Yeah, and like delving into a world, learning the like world building and the lore and the cause and effect and like what things do, and yeah, I like all that. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Did you hear that the Henry Cavill's doing a film with Warhammer?
Did hear about that. He also got cut from the Superman
Witcher
role
4.
apparently.
Oh yeah, he got cut from Superman and he walked away from Witcher. So
He must really like Warhammer. You know?
yeah, well,
He's a massive
fair
gamer.
enough.
Yeah. So.
He likes what he likes, and he's at that stage in his life where he can
Yeah, I don't think
make
he does.
decisions.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
We are the angels of death. We are the blade drawn against the endless night. Nothing.
Yeah, this is another game that has no
will
business looking this good.
survive our wrath.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Warhammer, man. So shouldn't that be like a B tier knockoff, like AA game somewhere, making that thing? But no, like they're going all in. Well played.
You find others.
Dune Awakening. Is this the real-time strategy, Dune?
You wander the dry, dirty.
I think so. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Dune games in production at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure.
In the ancient halls.
I mean, it's Dune, right? Everyone likes Dune.
You find
Is it Dune or June?
I think it depends where you are. I think in England it's Dune, but I think
Yeah.
in the
I'm
US
just so
it's
used to
Dune.
hearing people say Dune.
Yeah, so we have the same problem with
It's
Ubisoft, right?
San June. Yeah. I say San June, but I say Dune.
The company that I work for, like, how do you pronounce it?
Ubisoft.
Do you say Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Ubi. I say Ubi.
Okay. So don't you work with French people, though?
I work with French people, so yeah.
Yeah. You might.
But I don't even call the company I work for. I don't even say that the way the French people say.
Fair enough.
I am
And no one else in the UK does.
of what happens when you
Very rarely.
awaken.
Yeah, ambiguous trailer. Like, you might as well just throw in the logo up.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Survival
no idea.
MMO. It's like, I would have never have gotten that.
Open world survival MMO. Interesting. Could be cool. Could be cool.
Could be.
I like the IP. I'm new to it, so it's still quite fresh for me. Remnant 2. Buckethead.
You think he's running for Parliament? Sorry, that's
Not
a
many
UK
peop-
joke
not many of
for
our
anyone
viewers.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah, not many of our viewers will.
Google
will
Lord
get that.
Buckethead and you'll
Lord
get the reference.
Buckethead. Okay. Lots of openings on that beast. Not sure what they'll do. Wow.
Yeah, this one's
That's
great.
character design. That's character design.
I know the first one was like kind of a action adventure, sort of half Souls-like,
Yeah.
but it's like the character controller is super heavy in the first one. I didn't really give it enough time. I don't think. Do need to go back and try it again, because fans that finish it like absolutely love it.
Looks like this kind of game that would have some hardcore fans.
Yeah.
And there's something about floating rocks. It does something to me. It gets to a special place in my heart.
You're all about
Anything
the
with
floating rocks.
I love floating rocks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know that there's don't have to worry about intersecting textures coming from a 3D artist background. I don't know. Like they're pure because they're, not.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll have to play the first one before I pick up the second one, I think, unless it gets like overwhelmingly good. Hexworks.
Hopefully that's the sort of thing that'd be like if it's on Game Pass, I'd be all over.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Lords of the Fallen 1 is on Game Pass actually.
Holy warriors, giver of life and light,
Man, they are loving like this.
in your divine radiance.
Lots of
Celtic
similar
horror.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this because Elden Rings we think
No, I think it's too soon for that because
or is this
you couldn't generate this much
Hellblade
artwork.
maybe using this?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole industry is starting to like just shift towards this. I think it's been helped by things like Game of Thrones and things like that. It's a bit more gritty.
Yeah. Yeah, gritty fantasy. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Like I love this stuff. It took too long for them to get to this, in my opinion, because it was handed to them at Lord of the Rings, and nobody really ran with it.
No, that's true. Not even Lord of the Rings, really. In terms of video games.
Yeah.
Ring those bells. It's looking Souls-like in terms of combat.
There's a lot of Souls like sort of Celtic style stuff coming out. It's just fine. I'm good with that.
Vanquish the darkness. The lords of the fallen. Wishless now.
But it's a big competition, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
A new Bayonetta Origins.
Sure. Sexy lady.
Sexy Lady Origins.
Might as well
with
call
the
it.
glasses.
Well,
All
you better
that
brace
magic.
yourself because that's not what comes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, is this even worse than what it could like? Is this even like getting a bit territory? This is getting creepy.
It's cringy.
Territory.
I just don't think it. I just can't see the fans of Bayonetta playing this. Because it's just so different. It's different style, it's different character, it's just different.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, you know, but from the marketing side, it just seems so different.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be hitting what I imagine the target demographic of a Bayonetta game is.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like it's targeted towards kids. And then you kind of like, do you want kids playing Bayonetta straight after this? With
Hell
like
no.
booty and heels everywhere, you know what I mean? Like jiggly bits.
My boy is not going to be watching any Bayonetta.
Sure.
But this, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, it's this weird sort of thing in the middle, which I don't know if Bayonetta fans are going to dive at this. But who knows? I might be completely out of the loop. I really don't know any of the lore or anything.
No, I don't know.
Definitely show my ignorance on the game.
Oh, that's really nice, though. That art style's really effective.
Oh, yeah. It looks great. It's just, I just think it looks so different from the original. Because I played Bayonetta 1 back in the day. Oh my god, that is the worst title in the world, by the way.
Cereza and the Lost Demon.
It's like Bayonetta Origins.
Cereza. Just call it Bayonetta Origins.
Right, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, the Lost of it. It's a paragraph, it's not a title.
Yeah, silly. Silly.
Pre-order now for $150.
You can feed this weird thing.
When we think about controlling something powerful, it's easy to assume it takes strength. But what I've learned through...
Yeah, I just don't even know this. I watched this entire trailer, and if it doesn't... If it didn't come at the bottom to say what it was...
You never would have thought
you wouldn't have known. I got all the way through the trailer, and towards the end, I looked at Rachel and I was like, I kind of feel like this might be Destiny. It looks like a Destiny ripoff. Sort of thing, and then it came up Destiny, the whatever, like the DLC name. It's just so
really
weird.
Not a good. It's not a good thing. This looks like a rip-off of the game it's trying to be. It's not.
Yeah, I mean the Destiny 2 fans are gonna love it because they're just buying it a bit, right?
They got a big fan base, very vocal.
Yeah, it's free to play.
But I don't understand. I think it's because I'm part of that generation of. I come from the, I'm a Halo player, a Halo 1 original player, and then Destiny 1 was advertised to be like what Halo players would like to play, with a few decades of improvement.
I mean, the campaigns were fine. Like I finished them and then jumped out. They were fine. They weren't amazing. They were just. They were fun to play. That's the best way to describe it. Like the gunplay was great. Yeah. But other than that,
the gunplay was great. It was very tight. Yeah. I liked all the perks. Loved the guns. But it's just Street Fighter 6. Why didn't? Well,
just excessive muscles on everyone.
Yeah.
This is like the opposite of Gamergate, you know what I mean? Just guys feeling inadequate. This is kind of what...
I can never live up to that ideal.
Exactly. This is the revenge,
They're really going a different way to Tekken, aren't they? They're really going the opposite direction.
Yeah, you hit those balls and eat that food.
It's kind of like Mario Odyssey when he goes to like the real world town.
Yeah. It's definitely got that vibe. You're absolutely right.
This is kind of weird. I don't know really. I get the it feels like there's a conspiracy, and I feel like I'm in like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
And everyone knows I'm here.
With finding an appropriate vessel for this
kind of vibes.
It's just disproportionate people.
Yeah. Their skeletons would look very strange.
Yeah, I mean it's Street Fighter. Like it's gonna do awesome. Like they have conventions around this game alone, so it'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's not for me though. I'm completely out of the fighting loop these days.
Well, yeah. I don't think there are many. Are there many competitive 30-something fights around? Like
A Tekken.
But I mean, like, people in their 30s, they can't really be competitive in fighting games, can they? Or can they?
Yeah, God knows. Depends how much time you got in your hands. You can be competitive at anything if you've got enough time and practice.
I suppose.
I do find it interesting how they're doing like a character creator on this one. You can customize and sort of go through your own journey. That's interesting. But I don't know. I mean, it worked out for FIFA. Like, apparently people really love that whole, like, that campaign. You create your own player and then he actually climbs through the ranks and builds up his way to become like a Man U player or something stupid. Because that's the
or
goal,
something
right?
stupid.
Right.
That's the goal.
It's the goal of the Premiership, isn't it?
Goal.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Oh dear. So cell-shaded Hellblade game.
Hellboy.
Hellboy, sorry.
Yeah, it's very much like the comics.
I like it.
Me?
Oh, cringe. Me, I'm mad.
Because that's from the comics, so we'll put it in the game.
Ironically,
Go
it does look a
punch that.
lot like it looks a lot like Hellblade, actually. The way that you control the character and stuff.
It looks like 13. The old FPS that many people probably won't know.
Web of Wyrd. Wired. Ward. I don't know.
Word? Ward? Who the hell knows how to pronounce that word? Dead Cells.
Yeah, I think this one is it's a crossover they're doing, maybe. Castlevania.
Ah.
Which makes sense because it's a Metroidvania, so.
Yeah, everything's kind of spooky, gothic.
Yeah, this is like classic Castlevania, though.
Yeah. That's in fashion at the
literally.
moment. Though,
Okay. Yeah, it's literally Castlevania crossover. Okay.
I've always thought about people that just sit on thrones. Like, they don't have a
Right.
desk.
In empty castles, you know what I mean?
In empty castles, there's no one to talk to. You just sat there on the throne.
Yeah.
No one else is around.
Yeah, isn't
Like,
power like ultimately
can't
like
even-
who you can control and who you can talk to and stuff?
Yeah, like there's not even a jester there, like telling jokes, nothing.
Yeah.
All right, we got to the end.
That's it. I think there was a couple missing from there, but yeah, they were probably the highlights.
That's what GameSpot does. Yeah, the best.
Fair enough.
Ah, there we go.
Is there anything on that list, like in particular, that you're super hyped about?
Yeah. Well, the thing that's not on the list was the one that I showed you before in the pre-show. What was that called again? Viewfinder.
Oh, Viewfinder. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the one I'm pretty hyped about. But then apart from that, it'd be the Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Yeah.
That game, the Star Wars game, that's probably going to be my go-to. What about you?
Yeah, there was. I can't remember. There is
a list on the video.
there's another game. Yeah, there was another game which I saw, which I was really interested in. I've completely forgotten the name, which sort of defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah. Judas,
I'm gonna look it up
Diablo,
because
Earthblade, Warhammer, Dune, Remnant, Lord of the Fallen, Armored Core, Suicide Squad.
that was it. I remember it. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden.
Right.
Great game. It looks incredible. You play the trailer itself is really good. I'm surprised they didn't put it in that montage actually because it looks really interesting. But yeah, it looks like you're sort of playing in this character that has a ghost companion that sort of helps you out with puzzles and stuff. Really, really interesting. Like, you should go and check that trailer out, and anyone else listens to this. But yeah, I think that was the one that really sort of perked my ears up a little bit. That was the one that I saw that I really wanted to play. But other than that, it was a pleasant surprise to see Final Fantasy 16 shaping up. That actually looks like it didn't look as cheesy as the last one, which is good. Like, it looks like they're being a bit more serious about that one. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm actually curious now.
That looked very cheesy to me.
Right, but I mean, like, you should go and watch some trailers for Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
Yeah, like that is, it's cringy, like how much cheese is in those games, especially if you know anything about Japanese culture and stuff, because it's the tropes in that game are just all the animes and all the mangas squashed into one.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the brooding sort of main character who's got like 3 friends that are always the damn same. Always the same. Like, one of them super excited, like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, let's go on an adventure. And then there's another one who's like really tall and I will protect the main character. And then there's a third one that's really intelligent and just says like witty comments in the background. Yeah. And it's just gross. It's like, like, we've played this game a million times. Like, why are you making it again? Yeah. So it crawled me. But there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of the end then, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what your favorite one is, what you're most hyped for, if there should have been anything else on that best of videos. I'm watching the Banisher's Ghost of New Eden now. It looks pretty cool, but it's just kind of CGI trailer. Doesn't really what the game is.
There's a bit of gameplay at the end.
That's
that's where it starts. You get like a good feel for it, but that is very much my jam. I think that's the one that sort of ticked my box the most in the whole award show, because that was the one that was like, ooh, I want to see that game. I actually want to play that.
Right. So. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Mine was like Viewfinder. Yeah. Because I don't want to say I invented the mechanic, but when I was back at uni, a game that we came up with. Called Focus Find. Not Focus Find, that's my game. What am I talking about? Inscape. We came up with a game idea called Inscape, me and a few people, and it's very, very similar mechanics to that game, Viewfinder. So, yeah, they kind of stole my game idea, but that's fine.
And you'll go and look at the credits and find out it was one of the people that you worked with on the project in uni or something.
No. Yeah. Although, technically, the university owns the idea, so... Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway.
Very true.
Anyway, because that's how unis work. Fair enough. Yeah. Hopefully, things might be a bit up in the air actually this year. We've got Christmas coming up.
True. I don't know if we're going to be around next week, so this might be it for the rest of the holidays. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. We'll see if we can squeeze in an episode somewhere to sort of drop in between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah. And we still need to do Indie Dev Roundtable episode, which we're shockingly overdue.
We are, and we're probably going to start that up again in the new year, and we'll have a lot to talk about, because I'm probably going to be working on mine over Christmas. I know you've been working on yours, Chris. I know Sam absolutely has been working on his, so we've got a lot to sort of cover in the next episode. So look forward to that. So if you are interested in the Indie Dev Roundtable, then please subscribe to this channel, because that's starting up again soon. But also, like, if you are interested in this podcast as well, then please like and subscribe, comment, share with a friend, all that sort of good stuff. If you did want to find us elsewhere, you can. We have our podcasts all over the place. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're on Anchor, so it sort of fires out the episodes all over the internet. So just have a Google around. You will find us on your favorite podcast services. But yeah, other than that, Chris, where can people find you, sir?
So if you Google Acrylic Pixel, you can find me on Twitter. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm making my little indie game called Focus Find, 2D puzzle platformer about the stages of grief. You could wishlist that on Steam or support via Patreon as well. Where can we find your stuff in?
Very much similar vein. So if you just Google Hillfort Games, you'll find me. I'm sort of perpetuated out throughout the internet now. I've tried my best to do it, and I've succeeded. So I'm on Twitter, TikTok. My game Long Gone is on Steam. You can wishlist that, or check it out on YouTube. Like, again, just search Hillfort Games or Long Gone. You'll probably come across it. But yeah, other than that, like, I'll be right here every week, especially in the new year. It's going to be a bit fuzzy, like I said, over the next couple of weeks, but we'll get back on track as we always do. Yes. But until next time,
Bye bye.
Ta-ta.